Hello, my name's Starfy. I'm doing a submission for AGDQ 2026, and I'm also for any other marathon submissions. And this is for Star Wars Battlefront 2 Rise of the Empire any percent. This category's changed in the last year already since I did my last submission video. And it's changed a lot in various areas to the point where I feel like a new submission is in order. And to try to do a better job, you know? For AGDQ 2026, I will be, hopefully, if I get in, it'll be in person. And so, I do have experience being face cam and stuff. And being in a bigger event, kinda. A bit of a different story there, because it's like, not a little bit comparison, but that's a no for the AGDQ. Besides the category, we're also going to be doing a incentive showcase at the end of the run as well to showcase the incentive for Space Boostifar to showcase space. For this category, we're going to do is Rise of the Empire any percent with awards. It's essentially a New Game Plus category where we have all of our medals are all maxed out. And so we go from Magneto to Hoth while skipping the space missions since the game allows us to skip them. Toastmasters to skip them. And, yeah. I think that's about it. There's gonna be a lot of stuff happening rapidly as I go. So, we're gonna start the run now. Immediately, we go into our first tech here. We use the remote rocket to trigger right about here, and we do a respawn. My menuing's a little fluffy. And what that does, it triggers a command post further up the bridge and just saves us a lot of time of walking. And so let's just go to those command posts, capture it. Alright, so here we're going to be taking advantage of our first instance of like using class swapping to instantly reload. So auto turret to help distract AI over here. I'm in first person for the turrets. Should be good. 1, 2, 3, 4. I get a little bit slow, but that's okay. We're gonna throw a grenade to destroy that generator as soon as possible, while making our move to this command post. That's Candy Mundi. This is one of those command posts in the game where some command posts you can capture early, other ones like this one, they'll just reset their progress once you touch them. So it depends on the command post, what part to run. Now we're going to be setting up to... I think guys control me. We're going to be doing a specific movement chain here. We're sprint jump all the way over this gap. Wait for a moment to recharge, and we're going to double jump over this. Do a quick kill on this tower. Do a sprint jump here, and we're gonna do the only instance of a mid-air infinite sprint jump, a mid-air sprint jump. Got my terms mixed up there. What we're doing is ooh, I accidentally hit the roll. That's my bad. So infinite sprint for Jedi is very easy. Allows us to sprint forever. If we just press block after our stamina runs out, it's in the red. You press block to infinite block, and then we just hold sprint and roll, and we can just go. Very easy setup. Troopers have 2 ways to do it. I'll talk about later. And we're gonna go straight to Felucia. Mid-air sprint jumps are only seen there, unfortunately. That's a small thing only I really do, because I think it's cool. But here on Felucia, we're going to be setting up 2 mines before we do our remote rocket. Trigger the objective early. I'll explain how that works in a moment. We're going to set up a quick kill on this Accolade. We got it. And we're aiming for the legs. That's where their weak spot is for the Accolade. Set mine to kill this one while we reload. And that's it. And those 2 at the back of spawn there just got killed by the mines. And now this is a good time for donations, as this is the 2-minute Oscar where we're not really doing anything. We're going to capture a hidden command post here that allows the AI to spawn, but once we capture it, AI can't really spawn anymore. It's the only time you really see this in the run. It's really weird. It's funny that happens here on Felucia. So to explain what was going on with the remote rocket, so with the remote rocket, the game, it acts as like you the player are the rocket, and for activating triggers in the game, such as activating command posts early or triggering the next objective early, which we saw happen last map, and we did it here. And so we're kind of just waiting for the 30-second mark. And we're going to do what's called our first instance of a unit swap storage, where once we go into the unit screen, we can pull up a hidden menu with the Control E. And we press that twice to pause and unpause, and now we can start moving around with the other menus up. In this case, unit swap storage, unit swap, and we can just spawn as any unit from anywhere. Very useful tech. We're gonna do a small thing with this in a second, where we're gonna set mines ahead of time, then swap the sniper. Alright. We're gonna go over here, set our first mine down, get some ammo from this gonk droid. Prime our sniper to be ready for us to swap to. We're gonna set 3 mines around this turret, and hopefully it gets killed. And spawn. And doing that ensures those mines last the maximum amount of time. And we're gonna grab this power cell as soon as it spawns. I made a movement mistake there, fine. And so you see that one mine got detonated, we saw I get health. Another mine went off. 2 of them went off. If we get one more, that'd be huge. Unfortunately, that last one isn't gonna go off. Now it's an engineer droid. Engineers don't trigger mines, so we got a little unlucky there. But still, almost got it. You can see how that works. I'm gonna take a water break while we put on friendly fire. For Kashyyyk to Coruscant. Gonna drink water. Now, Kashyyyk is about 7 minutes of auto-scrollers, so the longest level in the game. But a lot is going on in this level. First, to check if we should have friendly fire on. We do. We're gonna use the engineer at the start to make our life a little bit easier for what we're about to do. So first we're going to try to take out these snail tanks as quickly as possible. And what we're aiming to do is to get a single or double neutral. And what that means is we're going to try to get the droids to neutral command post 1 first by pushing one back there, and then hopefully being able to get them to neutral 2 as well before the auto-scroller is over. Without losing. And we have friendly fire on to make sure we can team kill our teammates to avoid them from recapturing 1 or 2. What we want to be able to grab is an engineer droid to drag to the pack, since they don't have any way to blow themselves up. Magna Guards are okay sometimes if they're in recon, but they're dangerous. Our team like murdered that one engineer so quickly. I don't see him. I see one back there. I'm gonna go for that one. 2 of them. Alright. We're going to be taking this at a bit of an angle to break our team's line of sight as much as possible to avoid these droids dying. Team kill our teammates that might cause problems. I think if I can afford to... Whoa. There's a bunch of droids command posts up front. And a lot of my teammates are here for some reason. Okay, gotta be really careful here. This is very scary. So we should be able to get a double if we work this to our advantage a bit. Get that Wookiee alive. There's one heavy is trying to cause us problems. We can kill him. Hopefully we can get a double sap in a moment. Got some engineers, so that's a little helpful. My teammates are a little low on reinforcements, so I gotta be careful. Not be too trigger happy with team killing. Got it. Uh-oh. Did my capture? Uh-oh. Yeah, they're in a cap. They didn't. Okay, good. And now we got double neutral, so now we're gonna be doing a lot of setup work. Got lucky, got clone commanders. But we're only gonna take one. Where'd he go? Hello? Sometimes the AI just kind of does silly stuff and breaks away from you for no reason. You want to get a clone commander for the setup. We got a little lucky here. Got him first try. He would have team killed otherwise, so we got one. And now we're going to be doing another 4 minutes of setup work for the end of the level. This is one of those auto-scrollers where, on top of being an auto-scroller, we have to do a lot of stuff during the auto-scroller to save time later. And that time save is after the 7 minutes of auto-scroller. Not great. But there's a lot to talk about with this. So we have to do a lot of micromanaging in this level. There's a lot we gotta do. We have to juggle making sure that to get in this tank around 25 to 30 seconds while we're out of it, so it doesn't get destroyed on us. Because the game does a little hidden timer for every vehicle. Or after 25 to 28 seconds or something, it starts taking damage. And if it goes too long, the tank will get destroyed. As a small safe, so just something to be careful about for us. So we gotta micromanage getting as many clones as we can to push later. While also managing our tank, while also trying to make sure tanks don't get into the oil refinery. The tanks are the only things that can break the oil refinery. The droids will never be able to destroy it on their own. As long as we manage to avoid that, fine. And so long as there's no tanks in the oil refinery by the last minute, if nothing's in the oil refinery or close to it by the 1 minute mark, we're done. We don't have to worry about it anymore. And all the setup work is to push our teammates to the beachhead for them to capture for us. To get capture progress, so that we can neutral it. Because how the game works for the objectives is that before the objective swaps, if you or teammates are on the beachhead or the there's another commander. If you're in the radius for it when the objective swaps, you can start to get capture progress early, and you can interrupt the game. Uh-oh. What's my tank looking like? I have time for like one more. A little scary. Whoa, my tank is like taking damage. Okay, it's not in the oil refiner, so we should be fine. Get a little healing on this thing. And now we're start pushing them. This is a very delicate process, so we gotta be careful. Where's this engineer? We want commanders and snipers. Every other class can accidentally team kill our guys. Heavies are slow enough to also be helpful, but it really depends. Yeah, we got them in place. Gonna get this guy out, and now we're gonna line up at the other command post, and we should see a double. Our teammates... No, we didn't get it. The unfortunate thing about this strat is that our teammates can still troll us and decide to walk off anyway, even with all the work we do to push them in. So it's a bit of RNG to it. It's not an easy setup. And RNG can totally ruin it if you're unfortunate. That said, it's okay. There are enemies near. You gotta be careful about that. The thing about Command Post 4 is that even though we capture early and it is blue, you notice there's an objective icon over it. That's because it can still be captured by the droids. And the droids will keep trying to go over there to capture it. So we have to make sure no droids get to that command post before they capture the others. Which is another bit of micromanaging in this level. This level is not easy. This is the most micromanaging you have to do in the run. And because of that, it does fly by a bit, thankfully. And now we're done. Yeah. Overall, probably one of the hardest levels to learn at a high level. Which is why it's recommended to use safety strats when starting out. Otherwise, this level's difficult to get through. Another difficult level is Utapau. We have 3 instances of spawn RNG you have to worry about. We can't really avoid. Like this one. This is a really bad spawn, unfortunately. We're gonna lose a few seconds here. And there's 2 more spawns that can eat away our time, but it's fine. It also has one of the hardest instances of menuing in the run, where we're gonna do a more advanced version of the what we did on Magneto for the turrets. We're gonna be doing the same thing, but more rapid, more of them, and faster. We're gonna line up an infinite sprint here. This is one of 2 ways troopers can do an infinite sprint. So one way to do it is if you're on the ground, when your stamina runs like right as it runs out, if you hit roll with the right timing, you'll be able to do an infinite sprint, but it's frame perfect. And because the game runs at 80 FPS max on PC, unless you're playing on Classic Collection, it's a little difficult to time. It's a little easier to time because it's on lower FPS, but still it's not easy. And then let me set this up real quick. We'll play as Obi-Wan now, spawn at 3. Another bad spawn, 2 bad spawns in a row. But the other way that we just did is very easy to do. All you have to do is that when your stamina runs out while you're in midair while sprinting, you can hold roll immediately after it's run out and just get it. You don't have to do any timing, which is nice. And Jedi, we explained it before, I think. But now we're gonna do a respawn here as Obi-Wan. We're push Grievous off the map and spawn a sniper. Car spawns out in the game, by the way. Spawn back at 1. We got a good spawn here, thankfully. Now we're gonna spawn as Heavy. We're gonna fire rock at this first turret. The second one, we're going to pistol a little bit to get it down. And now for one of the hardest menu sequences in the game. Using class swapping to instantly reload to destroy this tower really fast. That is not easy. That manuing is really hard on this version of the game. There's another version of the game called 1.2 that has spacebar spawns, which makes that easier, but has a lot of other downsides to controls and such. That are a reason why I don't use that version to speedrun. Run of the Coruscant, this level is our hardest level casually, arguably, for people. This is a library. And this level is also really difficult for speedrunning because of the library, but for different reasons. We'll go into in a moment. Friendly fire comes in real handy in this map. We're gonna throw a grenade, like, right at a precise spot there to catch most of them. Couldn't get all of them, unfortunately, but it's okay. So the Jedi can friendly fire each other, which makes this level a lot easier. If we have friendly fire on. So now we're going to do a sequence to kill this first wave of Jedi as fast as possible, and then go to start doing turret clips to get the first flag early. Hello? guy's a little trolling. Came out really late. We're fine though. Alright, first turret clip here. Slight goof, there's a backup there, but I missed it. That's really bad. That's a bad mistake, because now I'm gonna be like not in place time. This is why also friendly fire's nice. This is where it's the real wiggle room. In case we get unlucky. It's clean, second try. Line this up correctly. It should be about correct. First try, thankfully, on that second one. And now we got the first holocron early, but it spawns a little bit earlier than usual. Which means we can, just avoid that. I've gotta pay a little bit of attention. This is fairly precise what I gotta set up here. I gotta hurry to get in position here. I damaged myself for a setup in a moment. No! That's a little unfortunate. I don't know what happened there. My mind got a little bit messed up. Oh, it's still reloading. Mistake there. That's fine. A lot of mistakes here because I'm trying to explain things. Because things are really rapid. We're spawning in the back. And we're gonna line up to get that first holocron. So all that setup work we did, made sure we got the second holocron that usually spawns. That we have to go kill a Jedi to grab. We can grab it early, and so we can capture it immediately. But we still have to grab this first holocron, so we're there ahead of time. We're infinite sprinting. Gotta be really careful about these Jedi. This double-bladed Jedi in particular are super dangerous because they have a really huge AoE around them, and you get sniped from pretty far away if you're unlucky. I think we're fine. We're gonna wait for this objective to swap, capture it there. And that mine's probably already gone. No, it still got it. I'm shocked that worked. That mine was kind of like messed up, but I still got it. That works out. So that mine setup we do is a little bit goofed up. But it allows us to spawn kill those Jedi Masters that we have to kill immediately. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of a hard time explaining things, but things are just rapid. And like, with this game, I have to pay really close attention to what I'm doing to you. I accidentally soft-locked my game. Sorry, give me 1 second. So, what I accidentally... There's a buddies menu and that we use for menuing, to help menuing. But if you accidentally hit it, it can soft lock your game. So, something to be careful about. That's okay. I think friendly fire should be off, but just in case, I'll have to play it safe. I'll check in a moment. Okay, we don't have friendly fire. It's still there. Good. Alright, so Naboo is this is where we start the Empire's where we're starting to get pretty technical with gameplay. You're gonna see a lot of Dark Trooper. Do stuff here. Another instance of unit swap storage. We're used to get a third jet jump, so we're gonna do a precise slide, Dark Trooper slide off of this rotunda. Perfect. And now we get a third jet jump to just slide around over. To do a jet slide, all you have to do is, whenever you're close about to hit the ground while jetting as a Dark Trooper, if you cancel the jet at the correct timing, you'll do a slide. Just as you hit the ground. And that's how we, like, get that big slide there. Another double jet jump. We're not going to slide here because it'll slide us way past where we need to be. That tank's going to be active, so I gotta be really careful here. That tank is very dangerous and can kill us really easily. They're trying to hide from it. And now we're going to do a really fun kill on the Queen and the Jedi. We're gonna swap the Heavy. Gotta make sure I don't mess that up by taking a little bit safe and not pre-rolling, so I don't miss time. Swap the remote rocket, wait a moment. And we're gonna spawn kill all those Jedi. And there we go, we just headshot the queen from up here. That's one of my favorite bits in the game. That's a strat I came up with for killing the queen using the row rocket. I'm pretty proud of it. It's pretty fun to do. There's another way to do it in new profile and what that Emu uses in regular runs, where you use grenades for the Dark Trooper to kill the Jedi, but it's a little tricky. It's about as tricky. Not too bad. As far as another pretty technical level with a lot happening. So we're gonna do a stinger, what's called a stinger jump here. I missed it. I don't know what happened there. I'm gonna go for it again. I guess that's a little. I have to go for it again anyway. I don't know what happened there. That was a little weird. But I shouldn't try to damage that console early. Make sure we don't have to rely on his teammates as much. We're gonna do this test here again. And we got it. This is the last time you'll see that kind of precise, like, USS that we did. With, timing. The USS here on Mustafar and on Naboo have, like, a specific timing you have to hit, and they're not easy to do. But now we're gonna use a remote rocket to try to destroy this console early. At least damage it. We did. A little late, but that's fine. Got to show it. And because we did damage to it, we should die to a single grenade now. If we manage to hit it correctly, it'll destroy it immediately, but that's really difficult to hit mid-run. It's a very rapid trick, and it's very risky as well, due to the fact that we can die. So that was a fairly safe version of that. Alright, so now we're going to set up another unit swap. Focus on Sniper for the very next objective after this. We're gonna throw a grenade at this console. Throw another one. It should be dead now. It's not. Should be dead now. And there we go. A little bit of time save there. Very difficult too. There are a lot of droids. I'm gonna just take them to kill them instead of just way too many. Now we're gonna swap the Dark Trooper here. Not just for a stamina refresh, but we're also jet jump to the ramp. And we're gonna wait here a moment for the trigger triggers, and then we're gonna spawn kill, try to damage the guys as much as possible. I'm missing. Still got him though. If we kill Geysor too early, we get soft lock the game. If we kill Geysor before that objective screen shows up, the game will soft lock, so we have to be careful about that. Another thing, too, that we're also avoiding, why we couldn't just go up there right away, is that if you enter a trigger for an objective too early sometimes, the game won't trigger the next objective correctly. So you have to, like, pull back out of the trigger zone and then walk back into it. So that's why we just have to wait for a moment. But now we're going into Camino. The one instance where super jets get to be seen. First spawn is Boba Fett.
Let's get this over with.
Not gonna see it right away because it's a little bit risky to do. Unless you lab out to start some super chats that Manny does. We're gonna wait. And now we're gonna do, whoa. That was weird. I don't know what happened there. We're gonna step out of bounds. This is fairly precise. Gonna focus here for a second. Got it. If we fail that out of bounds, we will soft block and have to restart the level. Thankfully, we hit it. I'm pretty comfortable at hitting it. It's not too bad for me. Now we're gonna just sprint up this hill as much as possible. Do a quick jet. Whoa. Now my stamina's pretty bad. That's the first instance of the super jet. We're gonna see one more in a moment. And how we do a super jet is as the Fets or the Jet Trooper, but this is really only relevant as the Fets, since they have like faster movement speed. It allows us to slingshot ourselves by spamming the jump input with the scroll wheel. And another instance there. That was a very clean one. That one's a bit scarier because if we mess it up, we just fall off the map and die. Which is also another run killer. It's not too bad. We're gonna do a bit of a tricky death toss. I missed it. I'm gonna try again. That's how it should look. Alright, and we're gonna destroy this last spot with Death Pack and respawn. That's restart. Gotta be careful. And response heavy for this last objective here. Where am I? That should hit. Yeah, we got it. Kind of an awkward spawn. So we use quick swapping there again to instantly reload to destroy those ALATs with 2 rockets for the first one. And then comboing the last one with 1 rocket and precision pistol shots. And now we're going to arguably the most technical level in the run. So we're going to open up with the Heavy Trooper again. And we're going to trigger the next objective early from up here. Just a little bit. Save a few seconds of walking down. I'm going to do a turret clip. This is a very fancy one. It's unnecessary. It's just a little cool thing I like to do. And we're gonna make sure we have enough points to at least get Dark Trooper. Whoa! I have never been gunned down like that before. Yeah, sometimes the AI in this game will just lock in and just murder you. You will get murderized by the AI sometimes with constant, like, a stream of headshots. Can't really avoid it either, it just happens. I can't even get Dark Trooper. Oh well. I can still do the funny. I'm going to do a funny thing where I just use a recon raise. Unnecessary. I'm going to time a detonation to spawn kill these guys up front. Oh, they blew it up. Oh, hasn't happened before. Also, I'm at pixel hell. We're gonna swap the engineer real quick for hell. We have plenty of time to get Dark Troopers, so it's not really a stressful bit. What is gonna be difficult is what step we're gonna go for in a moment. We're gonna go for our second and last turret clip of the run set, and it's a fairly difficult setup. First, we're gonna wait until about 25 seconds before we leave. Make sure we have the auto turret equipped so we don't mess this up. Wait to about 25 seconds. Okay, 25 seconds, we start leaving. Make sure you have Dark Trooper highlighted. Go first person so I can see, and then... Whoa! God, okay, this is bad. They can recover this. That was weird. Easily recovered. And now we're out of bounds while here. Bit of a recovery. That's a bit of a mistake. Now we're hold our Arcaster to keep this AI away from us. It's not working, unfortunately. I think our teammates are too close. Yeah, that happens. I got it. That's a little sketchy, but I got it. That's a very difficult out-of-bounds unit swap storage jet jump, and now it's not even over. Now we're going to swap back the Dark Trooper, do another unit swap storage. And we're gonna roll into this to clip it. And I died! I haven't seen that happen before. I don't know why I died there. Just show that that is very difficult. So I have to do a backup here instead. We're still holding unit swap storage. We still need it for swap to heavy in a moment. That was very unfortunate. I don't know why that happened. That was weird. So what's supposed to happen is that when we do that, there are a lot of rebels too. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's what's went wrong a bit. That's fine. Alright, we do all that work to be able to also swap the heavy, unit swap storage to heavy to trigger the conference room early. I really don't know what happened there, though. That was weird. And then we're gonna swap the heavy here. This is why I say this level is the most technical levels, but anything can go wrong if you make a execution error. Whoa! I don't know what happened there. That was a little sketchy. Got the stick, though. That saved us. But yeah, the idea was that after we rolled into that turret cliff, we use first-person mode to line up with the laser room. And then we do a jet jump straight into the laser room, which saves us time from the movement we had to do as a backup. Which was the old route. Use swap storage to heavy, and then do that remote rocket at the good timing to be able to spawn in the conference room early to get the shuttle a bit earlier. That entire sequence is probably the hardest parts of the speedrun, and anything can go wrong. And speaking of that, is another level I think things can go really wrong, for different reasons. This level is difficult from the hordes of rebels that spawn in this level. And parts of those hordes is a ridiculous amount of Wookiees. And Wookiees are one of the most dangerous classes in the run, alongside snipers and engineers, but Wookiees are especially. The other dangerous part is, well, is Boston Spies show up, and there's an uncapped amount of Wookiees, so more than 4 can show up, and all of them will... Which makes this level just so terrifying to play. I'm doing a use swap storage simply as a stamina recovery in the moment. There are rebels in front of me. I'm looking at the minimap. I had a feeling. That's why you watched your minimap. That's a big skill to learn while getting into playing this game. Is to watch your minimap closely. Pay attention to the map to see like where rebels are. We're gonna sprint jump all over these guys to avoid having to walk through them. You got a lucky health pack and you got the stamina, got the infinite sprint. And now we gotta just capture this and we're swap to heavy. First next objective. And you can see the amount of Wookiees. Sometimes you get really unlucky and there's a ton of Wookiees spawn. You can't really help that. Now we do our last remote rocket of the run. This is to trigger an ambush in the hangar early to make our lives easier later. The other thing that's dangerous about this map are the Boston Spies, especially during that flag run. They can easily ruin your day. So there are a lot of rebels in here as well. Out of every level in the run, this is probably the most likely one to end up with a defeat. Due to how scary it is. Thankfully, we can get through this without too much trouble. For safety, I'm gonna leave a little bit late before to do the next objective. Because again, it's very easy to get a defeat. Because your team cannot help you recapture, and sometimes your team does a terrible job of dealing with rebels. It's like atrocious how bad they actually are. That said, we should be fine to leave now. There's plenty of mines. I don't see any smugglers. The most dangerous class by far are the smugglers during that objective. Is if you leave and engineers step on the command post and your team decides not to kill them, they're immune to mines. Smugglers are immune to mines, and so they will trigger the bunch of them on the floor, and so they'll just capture freely because your team refuses to help you. We're gonna set a death pack on this console early before this objective ends, and respawn back in the hangar. And we're good. So what all of that did was, one, we did some work ahead of time to destroy the next objective as early as possible. But we can't destroy it immediately because the game won't let us. Instead, we set the death pack and then respawn back in here. And because we triggered the ambush trigger earlier, the rebels don't respawn in here. The trigger doesn't come reactivates once the console room objective activates. And you can notice it stays active for the rest of the map every time you walk into it. Which is why we have to do all the work we did to avoid re-triggering that trigger. Another difficult level. This is a very technical level with the movement. It's also very scary. It's very easy to die at the start due to that. I think we just get into this spot here and try to do our best to kill these rebels, and hopefully our team pushes up. Make our life a little easier. They are, so we should be fine to ignore the rebels here. Snipers are dangerous going forward here. I left a little early. Fair mistake. This is scary. I don't think I entered too early. I think we're good. Yeah, we're good. This is also a difficult sequence of destroying these. And we're spawned as Vader while the grade's off. And now another difficult movement section. It's hard to talk about this movement because it's so fast. Because Vader is just so fast, so my commentator would hopefully carry a lot of the talking on this map because this is a very fast-paced map. Things happen very quickly. So I'll do my best to explain here. All of that movement, we set up an infinite sprint to be able to then, because of how fast Vader is, he's the fastest character in the game while sprinting when he floats. So we use that to ramp up to the top side. And then I use a force swap to go into neutral stance to then be able to swing at the back of that console we have to destroy to open up the door to leave from behind, without having to deal with the long jump attack animation or sprint attack animation. And then we grab the plants and leave, and it's just very rapid. First half of Yavin 4 is also one of the hardest parts of the run due to these first two objectives. Bounce is less dangerous, but sometimes you get unlucky and let a ton of rebels spawn, they throw a bunch of grenades, a bunch of Wookiees can spawn, and you get grenaded to death. And again, Wookiees. This is the last time Wookiees are a threat, thankfully, but they're Wookiees. They aren't as bad on this map, it's more open, so you don't have to deal with them in close quarters, but still. We're gonna swap the Dart Trooper. We're gonna wait till our fuel's about ready. And Viaduct is the hardest command post in the run. So then we can, even without difficult is, with the amount of rebels that could spawn, the taints being able to troll and be in very difficult positions for us to deal with. Because we can't kill the tanks, and we have to play around them. And it's pretty hard sometimes how aggressive they are, but we played that really well. And it wasn't too bad. There are some really bad... I've seen some scary viaducts. Which I refer to as Command Post 3. That's the one we just captured. And from there, because we jet jumped into this pool as early as possible for the objective swaps, we don't have to deal with any real ambushes of rebels. So we're pretty safe for the rest of this level. So this is a great spot for donations, since like nothing's really going on for the rest of this. And there's not much of a threat of losing. If I get super unlucky, I could lose. But I've never really seen that happen. So all we're really doing is just defending until right about the last like 25 seconds or so to go set up at the bomb beacon. So not much going on. We're very thankful to have this brief period of breathing room though, because this level's difficult. The final four are so difficult. And the first half of this level is very hectic. The last two levels are really hectic. The last several levels have been really hectic and very technical. And not a lot of breathing room. So thankfully, we have this breathing room right before another really difficult level. So we take this where we can get it. He's kind of weak. it's almost time for us to leave. We're gonna set down some extra mines just in case we miss a rebel or two. I'll even destroy this like a little turret here. Just being a little bit of a nuisance. Hello. Don't do that. Those turrets are a little bit annoying. They'll be spamming at you. Not too bad. Now we're gonna line up this IFT tank just right to angle it correctly. Then we're gonna jet jump up to the top of this, and we're gonna wait for the flag to drop. Okay, we'll spawn in a moment. You have to wait for it to fully drop for we to pick it up. And now we go plant the bomb from inside the tank. Now we wait, so I'm gonna check around for what the tanks are doing, just in case. I'm gonna slingshot this, just in case. We're gonna spawn kill this guy. That's a little scuffed, that's fine. So we just kill that first Waffen spy with the pistol, and then just charge our caster to kill the last two in a combo shot. And now for I would say probably the third hardest level. Second or third, depending on like what you feel. This level's brutal. The AI is cranked to its max difficulty, to the highest difficulty, past elite. So the snipers are very aggressive and very dangerous. And we could easily just die at any point during these first two objectives. Especially as we have to cross like a lot of open field. So we're try our best to get into position. We're gonna throw a grenade. I got launched up. Yikes! That's why this objective is scary. Not much I could have done about that either. That's just poor luck. Why am I dead? I've never seen that happen before. I got headshot by the turret. Yeah, this is really bad. Can't really avoid that, though. Sometimes you just die, and you can't do anything about it. The AI is brutal on this map. The game just does not let up. There's another sniper? Where? I'm gonna ignore it. There's a unit swap storage we could do to try to get. I'm not gonna bother with it, because it means I can't really aim at these snipers that could cause some problems. I'm a little... Usually I have more stamina to heal, so it's a little bit weird. Oh, we got it. The scary thing about this is that you can see it over there, what's happening. They're chasing each other's tails over there. Which is why we want to go as fast as possible on this map. Because this can happen to us. What is happening over there? Yeah, because it took so long for us to capture that first objective, due to how unlucky we were getting, these AT-ATs are in really weird spots. Thankfully, this front one is in a good spot. They were still fine, but because that's something that can be bad. If we dying that much is rough. It's even for the best runners of this game, it's really difficult to survive the first two missions as a hawk because of those snipers. You get crossfired so easily. I accidentally didn't change my spawn. That's my bad. I'll focus on talking. We're spawn at 3. Hopefully there's a tauntaun here. We did. Hopefully we don't randomly die here. That snow speeder is terrifying. Alright. We should be okay from here. Yeah, this level's... From here, the rest of this level's free, thankfully. We're gonna do a jet jump down to in this tunnel here. Do a little bit of movement. And that grenade should destroy the console, and now as Vader, we're already going down to this room. And the rest of the level is just super free as playing against Vader, due to the speed, health. So now we're simply just going to capture this next command post, do a specific lineup to be able to pick up this flag immediately, because since we have to skip a cutscene, we're going to hold attack to prime a jump attack at the right time. To be able to immediately pick up the flag as early as possible while being close to it. A little bit of movement optimizations here. Doing infinite sprint resets mid-air. And that's about it. Now we're on the final all-scroller run. This could be donations, but this is like the final minute. Hope this isn't over yet, because I'll be showcasing, doing the showcase for the incentive for the run before this is over. I'll include like maybe 2 incentives here. So give me one moment while we finish this level. Oh, I did my best here. This run is very fast paced. And there's a lot to explain that's happening. Because it's very fast paced, very dangerous. Lots of things can go wrong. This run is very all or nothing, but I would say this is a very good showcase, I think. That's why I set a 48-minute estimate, because Polis could have gone really wrong if we were really unlucky. And died a couple times during the flag capture. And we died here on Hoth a couple times, because that objective is brutal. The snipers are very aggressive, very dangerous. But yeah, that's it for Hoth. And that's it for the main run. Got 46 minutes, which pretty solid, pretty okay. And now, let's go ahead and quickly show off the 2 incentives I'm gonna put in. First is gonna be a Space Mustafar incentive, where we're gonna showcase Space Mustafar to showcase how space maps look in this game. Give me 1 second to drink some water. Alright. So, Space Mustafar is the most fun space mission in the game. It's very cool and lots of things going on. We're gonna do a similar thing that we did on Utapau, but more difficult. We have to rapidly swap. We also have to make sure we fit a grenade in there. Oh, it didn't blow up. Bit of a mistake there, but it's okay. I missed the transport. Or wait for a TIE Fighter to spawn. What in the world? We take the TIE Fighter instead of the Interceptor because of how aggressive the AI and auto turrets are. It can be very dangerous. So we're hanging it low, just for safety. And we're gonna land enemy hangar. And we're steal the bomber right away. Now, we're gonna do one of the hardest parts of the speedrun. One of the harder things to do in the speedrun, this ship clip. Or as I call it, the sheep clip. We're gonna line this up just right, and we just slide right on in. First try. So we're gonna bomb the shield probably on the inside. And then we're gonna give us some space to be able to start destroying some ships from the inside. The nice thing about these objectives is that the game only really tracks if the ship vehicles are destroyed. It doesn't account for if there's someone in it. All it has to be is if there's if it's a ship that you destroyed. Now we're done, and now we're gonna go straight over to the hangar. Because we destroyed that shield generator, the objective's gonna automatically compete, and now we just gotta park this bomber. That ship clip is way more difficult than it looks, and takes a lot of practice and time to learn it. It is not easy. The lineup is very tricky. And yes, there's a very small space we have to be able to slide into the trigger. That trigger, the out of bounds. And so, while it's really easy for the Droid Starfighter and the V-Wing from the Republic, since those are really skinny ships, so they can, like, fit in fairly easily. The CS Strike Bomber, you have to align the ship just right, and then slowly go into the clip, and then pull yourself through. When, like, about the middle part of the ship, or right around the cockpit is, it's about to pass through the little, where the black line becomes a bit more gray. It's a very tricky clip, but it's very cool. And it's definitely the hardest one. And every team has a way to clip into the other team's hangar. Some easier than others. And, yeah. And that's it for the Space Mustafar incentive. And now we got one more to showcase. Just a fun bit. We're gonna do... Where is Hunt here? We're going to boost the amount of AI to 32. And let's find... we're gonna do some Hoth. Let's see. Hoth Hunt. We're gonna do some Wampa Hunt. This is the other incentive, where we call it Wampa Hunt. Where we can just play as the Wampas and just murder rebels for a couple minutes. Because it's just fun to do this. It's fun to play the Wampas. They're a bit of a power trip. They have a pretty unique moveset as well. And in Randomizer, it's fun to like get these little guys because they're so silly. They have some really silly moves. They can like one-shot anything in any class in the game by just doing this. They have their little combo where they sleep at you. But yaw. They also have a right click where they can, that's a big radius. And they have a ground pound. That's... Oh, we got disintegrated. And Randomizer is also dangerous to get these guys, though. They are very threatening. They have a lot of health, their melee hitboxes are fairly big and hard to avoid sometimes. And they're pretty aggressive as well. But this is a silly incentive for fun. Just chill. That's both my incentives there. For the Space Mustafar incentive, it can be done mid-run as well if I reach the natural point where it shows up. Otherwise, I would do it at the end of the run. I might do it at the end of the run in case I get a good, pretty great time, which is like kind of unlikely. By the way, these Wampa sounds play map wide, so it doesn't matter where you are on the map; they'll just keep playing, and it's really comical. Unfortunately, I don't have the, like, we don't have the Xi'an PC where you can do, like, pow, pow with the comic, like, effects. But yeah, that's it for my submissions. Hope y'all enjoyed that. I will, hopefully I get to do this in person. I hope y'all enjoyed the showcase, and it was okay. Got to showcase everything, showcase what can go wrong, etc. And I had a good time doing it. So thank you all. I will end the YouTube side of things in a second. Thank you, YouTube. Bye-bye, YouTube.